Can this 4,000-year-old adaptogenic herb really help you lose weight? I'm going to make the case through a combination of research studies and personal experience that it can. Now, before we jump in, you need to understand that ashwagandha is not a traditional weight loss supplement. Yes, it can absolutely help you lose weight. However, if you take it without doing anything else, then what I'm about to share with you is not likely to help. That's because ashwagandha acts to augment the things that you're already doing or the things that you should be doing to make them even more effective. This will make a lot more sense in just a minute, so let's dive in right now. Ashwagandha can help you lose weight by number one, improving thyroid function. If you weren't already aware of the importance of your thyroid, let me briefly fill you in. Your thyroid produces, at least in my opinion, the most important hormones in your entire body. That's because these hormones regulate every other hormone, and they also are responsible for regulating your metabolism. Up to 70%, depending on which study you look at, of the calories that you burn every single day are related to the function of your thyroid gland. It's really easy to see that if your thyroid is not functioning optimally, that it will be really easy for you to gain weight and really difficult for you to lose weight. You might be thinking, well, that's not a problem for me because I know my thyroid is working just fine. But you're most likely wrong. That's because even though your thyroid is important for your overall health, it looks for any excuse not to work properly. In fact, just being overweight all by itself is enough to disrupt your thyroid function, leading to a vicious cycle of more weight gain and more thyroid dysfunction and more weight gain and so on. Most people listening to this right now don't have a full-blown thyroid condition that warrants the use of prescription medication. But plenty of you listening to this right now have a slight dysfunction that isn't enough to warrant the need of medication, but is enough to cause problems for your metabolism. And this is where ashwagandha steps in. It's been shown in several studies to have a positive impact on thyroid function, especially in that subclinical state that I was just mentioning. So if you feel like your thyroid is sluggish and at least partly responsible for your inability to lose weight, then ashwagandha may be a potential solution. But that's not all it does, because it also helps, number two, by improving athletic performance. Remember when I said that ashwagandha would need to be used with other therapies? This is exactly what I was talking about. There's no such thing as a free lunch when it comes to weight loss. And despite all of the marketing efforts of people on the internet, weight loss requires more than just a supplement that you take by mouth. At some point, if you want to reach your ideal body weight, then exercise is going to have to be part of that equation. You can definitely lose some weight without the addition of exercise. For instance, just by improving or changing your diet. However, you're missing out on a whole host of benefits that exercise provides if you're not doing it regularly. And from where I'm standing, exercise is considered non-negotiable. But I do have some good news for you. If you are someone that finds it difficult to exercise, then ashwagandha may be part of the solution. And that's because it has the ability to make your exercise efforts more impactful by improving recovery time, by improving muscle strength, and by improving a measure called VO2 max. VO2 max is just a measure of how well your body utilizes and transports oxygen during exercise. And if you're someone who is interested in improving your overall health, then VO2 max should be top of mind. And even if you don't care about it, ashwagandha supplementation still benefits this measure, which means you can take the supplement and experience those benefits. You can't remove the need for exercise entirely, but using the right supplement can make your exercise more impactful, which means better weight loss long term. Other supplements can do this as well, by the way, including berberine, which is one of my most favorite supplements for weight loss. I just did a video on that topic, so I'd recommend you check it out if you're interested. Back to ashwagandha for a minute though, we have number three, it helps by balancing cortisol. And this is probably the benefit that ashwagandha is most well known for. The fact that it can help your body adapt to stress and reduce the negative impact that stress has on your entire body. I don't know anybody personally right now who can't benefit from reducing the stress in their life or for increasing their stress resiliency. We have to come to terms with the fact that we live in a world fraught with stress. And this stress can and absolutely does negatively impact our health. In fact, I would go as far as to say that stress is an underlying cause of the majority of the diseases and medical conditions that people are dealing with right now. It may not be solely responsible for things like weight gain, diabetes, and thyroid problems, but it absolutely makes those problems worse and more difficult to manage. You have to understand, though, that not all stress is bad, and cortisol, which is your stress hormone, isn't bad either. But both can become a problem when they reach a certain threshold. This is highlighted with a concept called allostatic load, which refers to the total burden of stress that your body is under at any given time. This explains why some people are able to handle major life stressors like the death of a loved one or a divorce better than other people, and why some people, maybe even you, have a hard time dealing with stressors that appear tiny or insignificant. It's not about any single stressor so much as it is the total cumulative burden of stress that you're under. From a weight perspective, we also know that there isn't anything worse than stress if you're trying to lose weight. Stress will not only cause weight gain by itself, it will also blunt the effectiveness of your weight loss treatments. And this is where ashwagandha can be helpful because of its actions as an adaptogen. Adaptogens help your body adapt to stress and may even exert a positive impact on your cortisol level. By normaling your cortisol level, you can experience better blood sugar, more energy, and more vitality overall. You won't be able to eliminate stress from your life entirely, but you can take supplements that help your body adapt to stress more readily. And this will make all of your weight loss efforts more effective. Next, we have number 4, and that is that ashwagandha can help you lose weight by increasing your energy levels. Your energy level refers to a subjective sense of how you are feeling. If you've ever woken up with a great night's rest, ready to attack your day, then you know exactly what I'm talking about here. You probably also know that just about everything seems more difficult when you're tired. And believe it or not, we don't know exactly what causes this change in subjective sense of energy. It's probably due to a combination of things like your hormones, mitochondrial energy production in your cells, and your neurological or mental capacity. Regardless of what causes fatigue, we know that ashwagandha can help improve it. There are no shortage of studies highlighting just how effective ashwagandha supplementation can be on these subjective measures. People who take ashwagandha report more vigor, less fatigue, better sexual function, and better psychological well-being. From your perspective, the better you feel overall, the more likely you are to make good choices as it relates to exercise and the foods that you put into your mouth. So this subjective sense of how you are feeling is actually really important if you're trying to lose weight. Just imagine trying to exercise after you've only slept 4 to 5 hours in one night. Now imagine doing the same after sleeping 8 or 9 hours. Which state would you prefer? Probably the latter. And this brings us to point number 5, which is that ashwagandha can help you get more sleep. And sleep is a big deal when it comes to your weight. Studies have shown that people who sleep less than 7 hours per night are more likely to become obese and have a higher BMI at baseline compared to people who sleep more. What makes this even worse is the fact that being overweight makes you less likely to get quality sleep. So the relationship between obesity and sleep is bidirectional. A lack of sleep leads to weight gain, which leads to even less sleep, which leads to even more weight gain, and so on. This negative effect on your weight from sleep is mediated through hormones like leptin and ghrelin. The less you sleep, the more dysregulated these hormones become, and the easier it is for you to gain weight. We also know that a lack of sleep kills your willpower. So forget about saying no to unhealthy food choices if you haven't slept very well, because the cards are stacked against you. But again, this is where ashwagandha can step in because it has been shown multiple times to help improve sleep quality. Yes, it's true that most people take ashwagandha for more energy, but taking different extracts and strengths of ashwagandha can help calm you down and help you sleep at night. These higher percentages of withanolides, which is the active ingredient in ashwagandha, can help you get more sleep and break the sleep weight gain cycle. After all is said and done, should you take ashwagandha for weight loss? It's not for everyone, but I would say there's a very strong argument that most people would benefit from taking it. This is especially true if you think sleep, stress, or your thyroid are contributing to your current situation. Based on my own experience, about 80 to 90% of people who take ashwagandha will see benefits, but that still leaves 10 to 20% of people who do not. The good news is that even if ashwagandha doesn't benefit you, there are still plenty of other adaptogens to choose from. And if you want to learn more about those, I'd recommend checking out this video next.